Firstly, I think we have to identify the purpose of the purchase. If you're looking to buy a property for own stay, then I would say requirement and fits your needs will be the right property. But if we are talking about looking for something that's for investment and capital gains, then there's several factors that we have to look at. Location. A lot of times I hear location is key when buying a property, but I beg to differ because if location is really the key factor here, then technically all the core central region developments should have been doing better than any of the developments elsewhere. The truth is, it's not always about the location. To me, the key here is always the entry prices. Developments with good location and good attributes, for example, being near to MRT and amenities, are definitely going to be highly sought after by buyers. And that also means that developers can actually price it higher and still sell well. So what that means is that you will be overpaying for a development that is so-called in a good location. And if you are overpaying, it's going to reduce the profits that you have. So in my opinion, it's definitely better to go for a unit in a so-called poorer location, but a right entry price versus a development that's in a so-called good location, but overpriced. The question here is how do we determine what's the right entry price to enter? What do we do to ensure that our clients are entering at the right price is that we always do an analysis for them. Some of the factors that we look at includes the resale and new launches within the same vicinity. We also look at the land bidder price, land bid between the first and second bidder, because that tells us whether the developers are overpaying or not. We also look at the developer's potential profit margin to see whether they are overpricing it, and we also look at potential rental yield. To identify the right new launch to buy, we also have to consider the unit layout. Layout is very important. Based on experience, we can actually tell which are the layouts that are more preferred by buyers and which are the ones that are least preferred. So this actually helps in terms of the exit when you buy a property. Will that affect future demand? Because if you're buying a layout or development that has poor layouts and is less preferred by buyers, that's where there's going to be problems on the future exit. We also have to consider future transformation, the supply and the potential demand for the area, because this will affect the demand on exit. With higher demand, it will usually reflect in higher potential for growth and higher capital gain. There's also other factors like the development size, the proximity to good schools, the proximity to MRT, amenities. The main factor here is always the entry price. Because when we are able to spot the right entry price for our clients, that lowers the risk of purchase and it increases the potential for growth and profits for our buyer. And when there's profits, there's options. So you can actually cash out, you can actually re-roll that money into a bigger property, a bigger asset, or you can stay put as it is, right? But when there's profits, there's options. When there's no profits, you're left with no option. So if you are looking to identify the right development, my advice to you is to look past the basic development attributes, because the better the attributes, the higher the premium the developers can charge you as well.